Hey everyone, welcome to the Rarible community call on August 8th, or no, 5th, 2021. The agenda for today, there's a few items. So we have updates on from CocoNFT. I think there's a little bit of updates from Creator Collective, and then also some updates on the Rarible DAO side. We've been working on an update on rarible.org, so we can share that a little bit. Mark is going to talk about some updates, some things that have been happening on the working group that we formed, and maybe just giving a little bit of an overview for people who aren't too familiar with what the working group is. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it, main agenda points. And then there's some other topics after that, but just, you know, those are the main points. So I think we can get started right away. Brody, do you want to share some things on CocoNFT and what you guys are up to?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, CocoNFT, for those that don't know, we're creating a platform on top of the Rarible protocol that will allow users to connect their existing social feeds and lazy mint those. So we're starting with Instagram. That's where we're kind of going after. So you'll be able to sell your Instagram posts. And that's the whole like post itself, the metadata, the photo, everything along those lines. And the latest update, so Eugene just kind of like announced this morning that we'll be able to do custom contracts without having to like write our own custom contract. So I'm looking into that tonight, but we're also going full steam ahead on redesigning the whole site. And that's where we're looking for feedback from the community. So I'm going to go ahead and post in the chat. That's our feedback channel on Discord. We're posting screens and mock-ups in there. So sorry, my cat is like knocking the computer all over. We're posting screens and mock-ups in there and just soliciting any sort of feedback, what we're missing, what we might be overlooking, as we're kind of in it all day, every day. So we'd like some outsider views on it. Other than that, we put up a proposal for app mining on the Rarible DAO, and the TLDR on that is we plan on using about 50% of what we would collect from that to redistribute to people who drive referrals to our system. So we're building in like almost like Clubhouse style like referral system where users get like free invites and then they can send it to their friends, and hopefully that has a little bit of a viral spread, and then we can kind of see who's driving those referrals and then redistribute some of that rarity to those users. And then the other 50% we would kind of like hold for ourselves to help participate in the DAO and also vote on other proposals, things along those lines. But that's kind of how we're envisioning using that app mining rarity. But yeah, other than that, feel free to jump in and join our Discord and provide feedback.
You want to share some screenshots? I don't know if you want to or not, but I'd love to just see them.
Yeah,
make you co-host.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Can I? Well, I may not be able to do it. Yeah, I don't have my privacy settings set up. Here, I'll share. I'll share two. Yeah, I'll share two for you. Where's Zoom?
Oh,
so there's one. There's another.
I'll share my screen one sec. I must leave a Discord channel first. I have the problem. Too many, leave server. All right, let's try that again.
Yeah, so this is kind of what we're redoing our profile to look like. And then we're also kind of, like I said, we're redesigning the whole site. So homepage is undergoing right now, but this is the one we're looking at feedback on at the moment is our profile.
So this is how I open up the other one?
Yeah, so the other one is desktop and this one is mobile. So between the two, you'd have like a fun animation that would like shrink it to this.
Let's see, so this is desktop.
Yep. So yeah, then the right-hand side would all be scrollable. You have your different tabs of what you're trying to sell, and the ones you have purchased, your favorites, and then some activity tab.
Oh, super cool. Are you gonna list prices in ETH?
So yeah, we're still trying to figure out exactly how to do that. If we want to do ETH or not. I mean, probably just so that way we'll probably have to do like some combination of both. We're trying to figure out, because we really want it to be welcoming for newcomers that will understand more of a local currency. But I mean, at the end of the day, everything is going to be done in ETH. So, and that'll, is the interactive prototype? No, this is not interactive at the moment.
I love it. I mean, there's definitely like, you know, similar vibe to Rarible, just but I guess a lot of like these marketplaces have a similar vibe, but like, it's awesome. And I think the direction of having your own marketplace is like, that's the way to go, right? Ultimately. So this is
and this is all
cool.
still, we haven't done the marketplace portion yet. So when we launch, everything, all the purchasing will be pushed out to Rarible at like day one, but that's the immediate follow-up, is to build our own marketplace.
Yeah, it's a really good, like, progressive way to build your, like, because you don't even have to create your marketplace. You can just launch with the front end and like phase it in. It seems like a really nice approach to like go to market, get started super easily, and then you know, a nice use case for other projects, I think.
Yeah,
great stuff. Any comments or anything for Brody? Pumped about that one. All right. Agenda. Creator Collective. Natalie, do you want to give a few words on what's been going on there?
Yeah, definitely. So again, just wanted to give a quick update on what Creator Collective has been doing. So we've been working on the Level Up NFT art competition. That's Mark, who's here, and I have been working on this, and we're excited to, our tentative launch date should be August 16th. And for those of you who don't know what we're doing with this, our goal with this series is to inspire and educate, as well as expand artists' engagement by showcasing artists that we feel are doing super exciting stuff in the crypto art space. And our first featured artist for this is the awesome OG VR master Metageist. And we actually recorded our interview with him last week. And it's awesome. I've actually listened to it 2 or 3 times, and lots of great takeaways. And we're really stoked about this. And I'll put a link in the chat of our actual proposal that was passed by Rarible DAO, so those of you can read up about it. And we've been doing a ton of outreach I've been doing a ton of outreach in DCL, Somnium Space, Discords, YouTube, and trying to build up a lot of partnerships before the launch. So once it launches, I want it out to as many artists as possible in the Rarible ecosystem outside, so we can onboard a lot of really cool VR artists, especially through Metageist and a lot of these Discords that I've been communicating with. And also, if you guys know of any channels I should reach out to, I would love to get anything from you guys would be great. And yeah, head over to our Discord, and yeah, go subscribe to our new YouTube channel. We're trying to build up a little bit of subscribers there before the actual launch. So I don't know, Mark, if you have anything else you'd like to say.
Well, I would like to say that Natalie is killing it.
No.
That's it.
No, so is Mark. It's been really great.
As always.
Nah, it's been really fun, and Metageist just blew my mind, and I think people will be really stoked. I mean, the last part of it, he gives a whole demo of his creative process, and it's just super inspiring. And I think a lot of artists, and again, this is going to be artists will be able to submit both VR sculpted and non-VR sculpted in this competition, so it should open up to a lot of people. So yeah, please reach out, and yeah.
Someone's asking if you can share a link to the YouTube.
Yeah.
Marianne is asking if we have plans. I'm assuming this was directed to Brody. Do you have plans to do something similar with music NFTs? I guess you could with like SoundCloud or something. Be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is something we have thought about specifically with SoundCloud, but that's nothing on our immediate roadmap. So yeah, we're starting with Instagram, and then looking to expand from there. Who knows what's next? TikTok, Reddit. We'll kind of see what our users want to gravitate towards.
TikTok. Be sweet. Some little like, I don't know, I could see that people really loving that.
Yeah, I mean, our biggest fear with TikTok is just the audio, because everybody uses licensed music on there. So we're still trying to weigh that.
Totally. All right. Okay, a little update on our end with Rarible.org. So Rarible.org is like the home of the protocol, or at least that's the hope. And so we've been working on an update of the website. I'm just going to open it up. And yeah, I would love to get some quick thoughts. So a lot of the wording, I think, would be nice to have like some thoughts like, oh, does this resonate or not resonate? I can share the link afterwards. But yeah, this is kind of the new home, open source community governed NFT protocol, you know, call to action, going to Discord, viewing our documentations or signing up for updates for our newsletter. Main nav, learning more about things. Maybe there's going to be an FAQ page, things like that. Developer resources, governance, learning about the token, snapshot, links like that. And then community links. So, you know, our Discord, our forum, things like that. Definitely a lot of the copy needs to be reworked, but yeah, these are mainly placeholders. We envision a digital world that is open, permissionless, and collaborative. A diagram of the stack, so application layer. Some of these projects that are here, we're likely going to have a scrolling banner because, or like many layers here to just show the ecosystem growing. We want to make sure that it's clear that there's actually people building on this, which is really cool. The API layer, which includes our indexer, all that, the smart contract layer, and then the base, the different blockchains. And then here is going to be mainly talking about the key features of the protocol. Again, still need to nail down exactly what we want to highlight here, but that'll be worked on over the next day or so. And then also other main features of the protocol: lazy minting, shared order book, royalties. This is going to be, this like heading on the left is going to be sticky as you scroll down. And probably we're going to add like a description below them just to add a little bit more context. Maybe even making them clickable so you can click and then you get like a diagram or something. I don't know, we'll see. Live use cases, we're going to have testimonials from projects. Again, I think ideally this is a scrolling banner to have, you know, what we really need to you know, I think there's something so special about like building an ecosystem like this, because there's really strong network effects as more projects start building and everybody's incentivized, especially if we start distributing ownership like we're doing with the app buying program. Everybody's starts being incentivized to bring in more projects, right? And so what we really want to create is like a really strong ecosystem of projects where you're just, everybody's talking about it and bringing on new projects and is incentivized to do so because, you know, some applications minted on CocoNFT, maybe they're sold on Cyber, and you know, like that actually, that shared order book benefits both of them, that there's both of these applications. So the more apps, the more everybody benefits, which is kind of, you know, your standard definition of a network effects, which is super cool. Community owned NFT, again, I don't know, need to reword a lot of these, but focus on the DAO here, you know, a section on the DAO talking about our token, our forum, all that. Not sure if we're going to have this section. I'm still questioning whether we want this, but a section, I think this section is just talking about the community, our roadmap. So some of the features we have now, in progress features, upcoming. Eugene was pretty hesitant to like put dates on anything. I think it's really hard on the protocol side to like put dates because things come up and things take longer and development is hard. And then, some links, so documentation or community, grant, FAQ, probably gonna have here like links to our DAO calendar, anything useful here. And then a sign up form for our Substack email. And then, I think we're gonna have a bigger focus on our email. So right now, Max is doing a super great job. I think it's gonna be even more of a focus. We're gonna have a lot of content once more projects start creating updates. And, I'm imagining in a lot of ways, like the newsletter being like a funnel of everything going on in the ecosystem. And, it's going to be more than Max writing that. Like if CocoNFT has an article they write, like it should go through there, right? And even Rarible.com, it'll go through there. So there's going to be a large amount of content that we're going to want to aggregate. And, it's going to be more than just like our weekly newsletters that is now. So this is the high level. I'll share the link with everyone. And then also, there's this cool feature, you can click C on your keyboard and then just write a comment. So if anybody has any strong feelings or comments they want to leave, you can just add your comment. It's pretty nice. So feel free to share that or comment on that. There you go. Here's the link. Any thoughts, comments? I don't like this. I like this.
I like this. Looks good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I think it's a big upgrade, and you doing this on one of those site builders is like going to allow us to just iterate and build it really quickly. Eventually, the hope is to just create our own version and having open source and community run, and we just make updates to it and the community just kind of owns that. So that's kind of V2, I see. All right, Mark, do you want to take it away now and talk about the working group and kind of some of the things that have been going on there?
No, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, one sec.
I'm just gonna share some visuals for y'all. Share. Cool. So yeah, I'm Mark, and I am part of the working group, or the recently established working group. Currently, we have four main focuses. One is comms, another one is ops, dev, and then I think not in here on this diagram is biz dev. And so on the comm side, you got myself, Max, of course, Eric, Matthew, Natalie has been joining our calls also. And with the comms, our objective is to communicate, both internally and externally, the happenings within our DAO, the projects that we're sort of fostering. And also, we aim to create native content as well, moving forward, audio, video, written. And then on the ops side, which I'm also part of, Noah is part of it, Elliot, Zach, and Cooper. And within this working group, the focus is on people, organization, treasury management, grants, proposals, and stuff like that. And then on the dev side, we have Isaac, Reed, Lewis, Penguin. I think most of the devs on this call are part of this working group, and the objective of that is to improve or expand on the protocol. And biz dev.
I'll just add one thing there. I mean, I think the dev working group like almost hasn't really formed yet. We've talked about it, and a lot of developers are like building things, but there's very little like structure there. And also, I'll point out that Angus, who's on this call, his background is in developer relations. I don't know if it's going to be a dev working group or like a developer relations working group, or if those are two separate ones. But there's kind of I'd say it's like not yet a working group.
For sure. Yeah. And thank you for adding more context to that, Eric. That's really very helpful. And yeah, on the biz dev side, I know that Eric is sort of like leading that side of the working group. So currently, in this season, since we're just newly formed, we sort of overlap with each other. We are all sort of like generalists and sort of multi-skilled, and so we are working on whatever needs are at the moment. And currently, since we have this launch coming up, we're focusing all our energies on that. And maybe Eric has already sort of touched on this, but our current objectives right now is to update the new governance forum. And I know that Noah is taking lead on that. Myself and Max and Matt also, we're sort of like in the initial phases or of creating the onboarding flow for comms, for ops, and other like work streams. And then what else? Yeah, we're currently refining and finalizing our vision, mission, and values, which I will post on the forums. And then after that, I will post on Snapshot. And so, yeah, if it resonates with you, or if you have any other comments, please let us know. Otherwise, it's going to be finalized through on-chain voting. And then, well, one of the objectives also is to create an onboarding flow for developers. And I think Angus and Jonathan are taking lead on that. And then, what I'm currently working on is organizing our Notion page. We want it to be much more easier for people to understand what's going on within the DAO and essentially the protocol also, and how they can get involved and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we're working on right now. And if you are interested in being part of this working group, or you're interested in contributing, please let me know. I am Mark Symbiotic on Discord. So yeah, that's it.
I'll just add one more piece of information there. I'll just share my screen. So we also deployed a DAO for this working group. So it's a little bit confusing to wrap your head around, right? We have Rarible DAO, which is governed by Rarible token holders. The ideal end state where we're going towards is where we have many working groups that are working for that DAO, asking for funding, operating almost independently, and the way to organize those working groups, I mean, there's various ways to do it. Like you could have a company, maybe you're a startup and you're asking for funding and you're operating, or you have a multi-sig, or you just have a group of devs who want to do work. Or in this case, I thought it'd be interesting to just try organizing the working group as an actual DAO. So we have this DAO deployed on Alchemy. We have these proposals. So, Mark submitted a proposal to the working group. Isaac, I submitted a proposal on behalf of Isaac. Noah has a proposal up here. So, this is where the working group activity can happen. It's an experiment. We might decide to move it to a Gnosis safe, or I don't know, some other mechanism, but it's an interesting experiment, and there's activity going on there. Any questions or anything? Cool. All right. All right. One last thing on the agenda. I think we'll be able to end early, which is nice because I have quite a bit of things to get done. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the volume. It's really hard. I have quite a bit of things to try to get done before Friday. So I'm leaving on vacation next week. So I'll be kind of, away. And then we're also planning a decent size announcement for the 12th. So that's kind of what we're gearing up to in terms of getting the onboarding done, our website done, you know, we have all sorts of things leading up to that. So that's kind of the next big milestone. So I'll be like inputting a little bit from afar. What do you plan on having? Yeah, rarible.org. Yes, that'll be all done, you know, probably by end of day tomorrow. At least like V1 or Monday. So that's kind of, you know, my plan. I'm just trying to organize everything and wrap up there. And then the other thing that I have been thinking about is compensation guidelines. So, you know, I think we need to make sure that we have like a clear compensation guide, and also a competitive one, right? You know, I think at the end of the day, we want to be able to attract the top devs in the space. And so I've been looking at other communities, like, you know, aiming high, like Yearn, Sushi, you know, Synthetics and X-Co-op, and just like seeing what they're offering. And you know, I'm going to be working on mapping that out, because we're trying to recruit. I'm trying to recruit, build out a team. And, you know, some people are coming in and like they have way higher market rates than, you know, what I'm getting paid right now and what others are getting paid. So, you know, we need some sort of guidelines, and I think it's okay if there's variation, but it's always a tough topic, especially in a DAO where everything is transparent. You know, like normally in a company, everything is behind closed doors. Nobody knows anything. But as soon as everything is open, it creates all sorts of issues. Like Sushi, actually, I started talking to their team, and they still haven't agreed on a compensation guideline. Every time they've tried presenting it multiple times to the community, and it just causes chaos. Like people are really unhappy and not comfortable, like with compensation guidelines, even though like in every single company there are guidelines, but nobody knows about it. It's all like muddy and hazy. As soon as you start making it clear, like people don't like it. You know, they think things aren't fair. They think, you know, why should someone get paid this much? Like it makes no sense. It's like really interesting. And so I think we definitely need to like just be clear about that. I think the hope is just to create something that's transparent, and you know, people might not like it, but you know, we have to move towards that. So
I mean,
anyways.
as long as you guys are transparent, I mean, this is why leadership would set the guidelines. You take the feedback from the community and everything, but somebody ultimately is going to be the unpopular one, but has to lead taking it forward, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to be permanent. It doesn't mean it can't change in the future, but I think it would forever be difficult to get alignment across the masses on something like that. But afterwards, I think if you were putting out what people were getting paid, there's a disparity amongst, you know, sex or location or things like that, then, you know, that's really what we're about, right? Is fairness. But, you know, to say one job is the same as the other, if you're doing some things that are different, that's never really the case, is it?
Yeah, it's never the case.
Yeah. And I think to piggyback on what Matthew said, I think that it certainly is a process, and I certainly see all the DAOs actually sort of talking about compensation and attracting and retaining, you know, like really like, you know, the contributors, like really the key contributors. And that's something that is, like you said, Eric, is not easy, could always be challenging. But I think having that intention to be transparent and to actually include the community, you know, would be very helpful. And yeah, it does take time. It does take time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be working on that fun piece, and I'll keep you guys posted.
Totally fun. So much fun.
Yeah, you should see the discussions in the sushi forum. You know, like they tried to create a compensation guideline, and it just turned to shit. Like everyone started bashing the founders, and like, you know, it was horrible. So they like literally have nothing that's approved because they can't agree on it. Which is,
Everyone gets $1 million.
yeah, exactly.
Is everyone happy? Well, everyone gets a cool million. We're gonna work really hard. It's gonna be all right.
I'm pretty impressed how Index Co-op is actually sort of like, exploring this conversation. And it's so far, it has been very much a learning process. Just watching these their members really just like thoughtfully, like, like really expressing, okay, well, does this make sense? They're really considering everything. Like, should we also pay for like health insurance? Like, because, like it was really like sort of like very clear that if we are going to retain someone, we have to make sure that they feel stable, and that's
Totally.
something that I feel like most
Focus on the
DAOs
work.
don't even like think about. If
Yeah.
you're going to retain talent, you got to make sure that they feel stable. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a learning opportunity, and it's a chance to to see how other people through their lens may see. You're watching the same movie, but you're definitely not consuming it the same way, right? And it's a learning opportunity to see different objectives. But at the end of the day, human nature is that we've got competing priorities, and I need to have some quantifiable reason to justify why one priority is over the other, right? Or you're just spinning your wheels. That's the real objective.
Yeah, I think there's something to learn from, a lot of different DAOs. Like Sushi, for example, had something interesting in their proposal, which was that everybody who comes on has a 2-month trial, and then they get voted whether they want to continue or not. I think that's really interesting. Some communities had like joining bonuses, so people like if they join, they have a bonus. A lot of the teams had like vesting schedules for tokens over multiple years for like core members. So I think there's a lot of different things that we can add there. But yeah, like Mark was saying, Index Co-op has like health plans and stuff. I mean, like I that's crazy that a DAO has health plans, but yeah, it's trial periods create so much for us. Yeah, it does. I don't know.
Did you read about that? Did you read about that company that lets their employees vote on each other's pay raises?
No.
So like I'll find the article to share with the group. I'll put it in the Discord. But essentially, like they have a retreat every year, and everyone must come forward and explain, give the justification for why they believe they should get a pay raise, and then everybody then says, yay or nay, so to speak, on that. And there's going to be one that's just going to be a big conflict in that, and it would love to be a fly on the wall. But that's essentially what's being proposed here is another form of that. It's just the beginning versus the outcome afterwards.
That's amazing. Boo!
I know.
Get
like 8%. Like you haven't been here for 2 weeks.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm gonna find the link.
Yeah, that's basically all the agenda for today. So I think we can end a bit early. Enjoy the summer. I think that like high level, the protocol. I mean, we're ramping up right now. We have 15 projects on the protocol or individuals building features. I mean, that's without like doing any like major marketing. We haven't even announced the protocol yet. It's it got released and then we just kind of sponsored some hackathons and stuff. So I think over the next 3-4 months, we're going to be doing a lot of making a lot of noise, getting on podcasts, getting everywhere in some news outlets, and hopefully that number like doubles, triples, and I think once we see that, it's going to be super interesting. More use cases, lots of new partnership opportunities, new integration opportunities. It's going to be super cool. So pumped that everyone here is going to be part of that. It's going to be exciting few months. Cool. All right. I guess we'll just wrap it up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Eric. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Have a good day,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Eric.
Bye bye.